One of the things that the cross does is exemplified in Hebrews chapter 12, verse 22, where the author of the book of Hebrews says, "You have come to Mount Zion." I want you to pause for a second before you go any farther. I want you to realize that this is you and this is me and this is everybody who has ever come to Christ, because the previous mountain he said you're not on, and guess which mountain that was? Sinai, Moses, the law. He goes, you're not there anymore. So don't look back there for your righteousness. Instead, know where you live. Where do you live? Mount Zion. You live at the city of the living God. You live in a heavenly Jerusalem. You live with an innumerable company of angels. 23. To the general assembly and church of the firstborn registered in heaven. Look at that. What's registered in heaven mean? Your names are written. There it is. In the Lamb's book of life. Which Lamb? The Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. What happened at the foundation of the world? The blood of Abel. To God, the judge of all, to the spirits of just men made perfect, and then to Jesus, the mediator of a new covenant, to the blood of sprinkling that speaks better things than the blood shed at the foundation of the world. Who was that? Abel. On the mountain you live, God calls Abel out. He calls Cain out. He puts them all back on that mountain, and he says Jesus is the mediator of a new covenant, a new blood covenant, and his blood is better than the blood of Abel, because the blood of Abel kicked off a system of vengeance and revenge and anger and reciprocity, and you get what's coming to you. And what comes, here's another classic, what comes around goes around. And he says that, but Jesus has put your feet firmly on a mountain where that rule does not apply. Aren't you glad you don't get what's coming to you? Amen. So don't go live out in the world excited when people get what's coming to them. You're a follower of a better man. His blood speaks better things than Abel. Abel's blood's been screaming out from Genesis 4, avenge me! And God said, if you do, you're going to bring 7 times on your own head. We ignored that. We just went ahead and avenged him anyway and just took the whirlwind. And then came Jesus, whose blood hits the ground and goes to war with Abel's blood. And man, the system of the world fights against him. So bad that Revelation 12's got a flood coming out of a dragon's mouth trying to drown that kid. Stop him! He's going to change the world. Stop him! Revelation 13, here comes a beast out of the sea. And the ones the beast can't touch are the ones whose names are registered in heaven, who followed the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world, because the beast works in a system of the world in which man fights and kills man. And here comes Jesus speaking better things than Abel. He says, good news, you don't have to live as a victim to your own vengeance. You don't have to live underneath your own anger. You don't have to live underneath your own guilt. You don't have to live underneath your own shame. You don't have to live underneath your own condemnation. It's not what comes around goes around. Stop wishing bad on your enemies. Stop looking for how you can win, and start living from a place of better things than the blood of Abel, where Christ has died on your behalf. Christ has paid the price for you. Jesus refounds the world at Calvary. Please hear that. And I beg you, church, stop waiting on Jesus to refound the world someday. Jesus has refounded the world at Calvary. Otherwise, why do you celebrate Easter? Easter's not the hope that someday you come out of the grave. Easter's the promise that you came out of the grave. Amen. Easter is the promise that death doesn't defeat God. Easter is the promise that Jesus can stare hell in the eye and come out on the other side as a new creation. Easter is the promise that first Adam isn't the end of the story, that he dies at Calvary, and that a brand new Adam possesses the earth. Easter is the promise that the blood of Jesus trumps the blood of the things of this world, that you don't have to live according to the system of darkness. Paul grabbed it in Colossians 1 when he said, you have been transported out of the kingdom of darkness and into the kingdom of his dear Son. Not you shall be, you have been. So live like it.